best, most relevant results to what you're searching for, right? And so kind of how that works is you have like, let's say your Facebook app, right? You make like, what's like a possible Facebook app? Like just an industry even. Like
basketball game.
Basketball game? So how about a Facebook app that predicts who's going to win the next game of basketball? Or how about a March Madness? How about a March Madness bracket app? So basically like a Facebook app where you can pick all your picks on Facebook, and then it'll, every time there's a game, it'll post on your friend's wall automatically who you think is going to win based on who's in your bracket. Pretty cool, maybe? Like interesting? Sure. So you have your Facebook app, it's March Madness, it's a bracket system. And so like you have Google here, right? So you have like, I don't know, let's say March Madness is a keyword. Let's say, you know, basketball, it's on Facebook, right? And so you start picking out keywords that identify your app, right? So like real time would also be important, right? If you made this app, I would use it. Like if you made an app where I could fill out all my March Madness picks on Facebook, and then it would show people like real time who I think is going to win, like it would post automatically on my Facebook wall, that'd be pretty cool. And Facebook would like it because you're generating usage on their platform, which is huge, right? And so Google comes, and so this is now your Facebook app in a nutshell, like those are the words, right? And so what Google does is, you know, you realize how quick people can make websites, right? Like I could throw up a website using a WordPress theme, and like, which is just a blogging platform, and like they have a famous 7-minute install. So I can buy a domain name, host it, install WordPress in probably half an hour. So people do this all over the internet, right? So the way Google doesn't show you crap, like if I made some dumb site that was like, had nothing to do with anything, but I put like these words in it, Google's not going to show that to people because it's not relevant. So the way PageRank works is they see how many people link to you, where you link back out, and then how many people generally are clicking through when they search to your product. And so if you have a good app, the idea is that a lot of people will link to it, right? If I'm on another like sports website, they're like, hey, this is a pretty sweet Facebook app that this guy made, you should check it out, right? So you have all these incoming links, right, to your app. And so Google is smart enough to see these links, and they have this huge network of like who's going where. And so like the more people that link to you, and the more the freshness of your content is important too. And so the more ways that you can generate discussions on a website, you can generate fresh content, like all this is extremely important. And there's people that have tried to trick this system, right? There's a site called Mahalo, okay? Made by this guy, Jason Calacanis. He's a freaking billionaire now. But so you know what Mahalo does? They basically, it's kind of, tell me if you think this is shady or not, because I think it is, and I've met the guy and he doesn't think it's shady and some other people don't. But what they do is he has a way for you to write an article, right? And he'll give you $5 to write about current news. And so if you go on NBC and you see that volcanic ash is delaying flights, and you write a one-page article about that, more or less copying the content and then changing the words though to how you feel, you know, the article should be read, Google indexes all of these articles that he does, and then he just sells tons of advertisements on his pages. And so it like clutters up Google, which is a pain in the butt, and like people get really frustrated with that. And he's like a sleazy business guy, but he makes tons of money doing it. And you know, that's why it's good to have morals, because I don't use anything he makes, and I know a lot of people that are soon to recognize what he's doing, which is kind of shady, you know, like. And so, yeah, so that's, you know, how you get your app on Facebook. That's how the PageRank works. Keywords are important. So like someone, you know, asking how Google makes money. Keywords are really expensive if you want to, you know, the sponsored links on Google, if you type in like, if you were to type in like March Madness, there's like a few yellow ones and stuff, and the ones on the side. Based on your keyword, people bid on those, right? And so if I want the keyword March Madness, there might be 40 other people that are trying to get you to come to a March Madness app too, that are going to bid on this keyword. And so consumer internet gets pretty expensive, right? Because there's people that have already been doing it and have figured out how much their, you know, cost to acquire a user is. And so like, it's called a CPC. Like I wish I would have learned this too in high school, because it's actually pretty interesting. It's just cost per click. And so like this term, like let's say there's 40 people bidding on it and it costs $3 per click, right? And so that means every time someone on Google clicks your sponsored link, they take $3 out of your account. And so for an idea of how fast this goes, I bought the keyword college admissions on Google. Rookie mistake. Like, we burned through $15,000 in a matter of like 2 hours, I think, on that keyword. And so the keyword got bidded up to like $5. Google has billions of people like just throughout the day using it, and there was enough people that I set the budget to $15,000, hoping it'd last a month. And in like 2 hours, I was like, oh shit. Like, basically looked at it and I was like, well, at least I know how that works now. But yeah, but the crazy thing is if it's depending on the market too, right? Like if people aren't charging a lot for March Madness apps, you might get this for like $1. But the whole trick is you need to figure out how you're gonna make money on this app, right? And so maybe the way you're gonna make money is through advertising, let's say. So that's the simplest way to, without going into huge detail. But like, let's say for every person you get to your site for $3, your only worry should be how much does one person make me, right? So if one person clicks on an ad on your site and you pay out at $5 an ad, like you're like, oh cool. So on average, like, so that wouldn't work. So like, let's say it's $2. On average, it might cost you like 2 people to hit your site, but when 2 people hit your site and you have a 50% conversion rate for whatever reason, which is really high, you make $5. So it's clear that, oh cool, like I am plus $1 on like what I'm doing here, right? And so the people that do consumer internet are really smart because they figure out this number and then they just buy tons of traffic because it's like, it makes sense, right? For every $4 you spend, if you have a 50% conversion rate, you make 5. And so like people have margins that